Good morning, everybody. This is Cliff London, and I'm going to do this video at the request of one of my viewers on the subject of code switching. Code switching. Now, when the subscriber asked me to do it, asked me my take on it, rather, to be honest, I never had actually heard of the term. It sounded vaguely familiar, but that's probably because of watching a million hours of sci-fi throughout my lifetime. Code switching. But anyway, so I decided to look up the term code switching. And loosely, it's defined as someone who can speak two or more languages and is able to switch between those languages depending on what culture, tribe that they're talking to. However, I also knew when from what the subscriber wrote was that that this is probably not what he was talking about, and instinctively I kind of knew what he was talking about. I just had never heard the term. Does that make sense? Anyway. I know that these days it's kind of one of those words that's been given a lot of different meanings, like most words. And basically what it means in the slang term is kind of like a fake person. You act one way around this race, then you act another way around another race. And not just in acting, also in, for example, the type of you pretend to be into certain things of that culture, and you're really not. Like, let's say I'm around Hispanic people, and all of a sudden, I Google my phone and I want to learn everything about flamenco and decide to talk to them and pretend that I have been into it for years, when in fact I haven't. Now, I love this topic, by the way, because it's definitely something that is not really discussed too much. So I'm going to say, for example, I'm going to say that I will say not every incident it's code switching. Like if you're a fake, then it's code switching. But I'm going to use music as an example. Like a lot of people, because I like a lot of different music. From hip hop on to what they used to call indie, alternative, whatever. If it moves me, I might listen to it. Seriously, that's just how I am. Anyways, but a lot of people when I was younger, used to say, stuff like, I'm trying to listen to white people's music and this type of thing. And really it was just immature and stupid shit. It honestly didn't faze me. But the thing is that I liked hip hop as well. So I would be able to talk about, new EPMD or whatever. But I could also talk about new Chili Peppers or The Cure or Depeche Mode or something like that as well. So I guess you could consider that code switching, but not particularly, because I'm not fake. I actually do enjoy those things and are fans of those things. So when I'm talking to someone, I'm just, about those issues, I'm just talking. I don't consider it a code switch when I'm doing it. So in essence, I don't think that if that's what it is defined as anyways, just only that, then I don't see anything wrong with it. Also, as far as, the code switching thing also involves switching languages. So I'm going to also say, if if you're one person who maybe, if you speak multiple languages, by the technical definition, you are code switching. But like I said, I would say that if you are fake, if you're a fake person, using it in order to get along, pretending that you are something that you are not, maybe for a job. I would say if it's your hustle and you're good at it, and you're using it to make your way in the world, hey, I might not like it, but hey, you're your own man. If that's your hustle, go for it. But I also think that a little bit of it is necessary, especially in the black community, though. Because with us especially, you hear, I hear it. I heard it at work yesterday. I hear it all the time, stuff that I thought, wow, they're still there. And stuff like, if they say something like, a Toblerone is white people's candy. I had a fucking Toblerone and it's delicious. Anyway, and I think, I turned and I said to him, I said, so because you're black, you don't deserve a higher grade piece of chocolate? I asked him, well, what do you consider black person's candy? He says Snickers. I like Snickers as well, but this Toblerone shit, you see what I'm saying? And I think that one reason why you hear stuff like that with the black community so much, and why we're so guarded about the American, aspect, our place here in our culture more than other people, is because that sensitivity that, we don't have a country backing us. We're not from Africa. Say what you want, and all you pro-black, you're talking about going back to Mother Africa. It's a pipe dream. Especially if you're around my age, that means you've been talking that shit for at least 20 years and haven't left, so stop. Anyway. But I would say that if you are truly a cultured person, because as blacks, that's what we should be. And another thing, as far as the cultural appropriation thing, it's kind of a moot point in America, because one of the only ways it's truly a peaceful melting pot is a free flow of different cultural ideas on a superficial level, be it dress, be it music. We hear the mesh of influences all the time. Even country has hip hop elements into it. But me personally, I'm proud of a lot of aspects of our culture here. Things that we've imprinted on American society that we helped build in this country. There's a lot of thuggery worship, but there's also a lot of beauty and cool shit as well. A lot of people tend to think of black culture in America nowadays as just rap and what rap associates with that, and basketball and stuff. But it's also, way more than that. It's jazz, it's black cinema. But anyway, I don't want to get off on a tangent. I don't even really listen to that much jazz per se. But I'm just saying, our origins may have been horrible in this country, our origins, but our present worth is astronomical, and we should be proud of that instead of living in the past this whole fucking time. Then maybe one day we could have the right attitude. Anyway, code switching. A lot of it is good for blacks because we need to go out and experience different cultures and become more cultured. Becoming more cultured as opposed to being everybody's, when they want to fight for civil rights, or when they want to relate to struggle, they come wanting to hang out with black folks and stuff. So strange to me. And so I would say that, what's served me well in life is growing up in the arts and being around different types of people, being a little more cultured. It could be something as insignificant as recognizing a last name that you can, the term, the name Aiello, as and they're really, and a lot of people, pronounce that wrong because they're not they're not cultured. It's something that if you're cultured, you've heard the name before on TV and stuff. And I'm not just saying watching TV is being cultured, but I'm saying that us not excluding ourselves to, as a black person, you only are allowed to do this and be this way, talk this way, like these things. Because our experience is a spectrum, and we are individuals just like everyone else. It's a strange thing that blacks do to each other, and it's actually limiting, right? Like the white folk back in the day with, the slave owners and stuff, they're the ones that wanted assimilation, wanted us to be like the Borg, wanted you to be different. Now we have a say in shit that goes on in this country, and that's a good thing. But we also have a right to everything that people emulate about black culture and stuff like that. The things that aren't really a big deal, but that we seem to be proud of, like controlling the way to, and then, you know, language and everything that's cool. Okay, whatever. Completely meaningless shit, by the way. But okay, I'm with it. It is cool. Some of but it also means that we have a right to dabble in their shit and experience their shit. You know, I've been studying martial arts for years. You know, I got, you know, you think I don't have a fucking Asian tattoo right here? You probably can't see it. It means knowledge. You know, and I also practice Japanese swordsmanship. So, I mean, like, no one says that you know, but they don't tell me I'm culturally appropriating. Not one, I mean, you know, at the Japanese Culture Center, not one person's come up to me and said that I was cultural appropriating. You know, I'm refraining. See, culture, you know, I really want to do an impersonation right now, but I'm not going to. But I'm thinking. Anyways, so, you know, in short, if you're a fake, miserable shithead, and we're going by the term code switching in that term, well, then you're a loser and you're the only one that, you know what, I can say that that's what I think, but in all reality, listen, I'll tell you something. You are the only one that has to deal with yourself on a regular basis. You are the one that has to look yourself in the mirror if you are a faker. You know, if you can sleep at night, if you can look in the mirror and respect yourself, and you want to code switch 2.0 definition, if you want to, you know, code switch to your heart's content, if you're going to code, you know, if you can live like that, if you can like yourself and you benefit from it somehow. If you do it and you're a fake, but because you're insecure and you want people to like you, I would suggest, well, the things that you are perpetrating to be, if you really care, if you befriend those people and learn to care about them, learn to care about that as well. You know, at least to a degree to where you're not unwillingly insulting. But if you are a true eclectic and you are into different things, you know, you are black and actually give sushi a shot, you know, and not turn your nose up and go, that's what white people eat. Of course, I'm not eating sushi any fucking time soon because of what's going on right now. But prior to, hey, it's good shit. Give it a shot. Just rice and fish, mostly. But stuff like that, because it will help you. You know, especially like these, you know, it'll help young blacks and older blacks and mid-range age blacks because they are cultured. So you must be cultured too and learn to appreciate other things. And not only that, not even for outer stuff, but for yourself. Because one of the most important things in life is to experience everything you can. Learn new shit if you can. Don't be set in one thing. I mean, I feel like not only should you, but it's our right. It's our right to indulge in other cultures. It's our right. As much as we've given, it's our right. I would say that was the only thing I would say entitled to. Yeah, you're entitled to listen to rock and roll if you want. You're entitled to experiment with it, you know. One thing I wanted to say, though, to all the black folks that don't actually listen to Guns N' Roses, but you wear the shirt, you're lame. Sorry, you're lame. I know it's just a t-shirt or the Office t-shirt, like the Dunder Mifflin. I've seen it popping up. And I remember, man, some of you my age used to make fun of me for listening to Guns N' Roses. And now I see your big old selves walking around with a t-shirt on, acting like you don't know what it is. You know, that you didn't used to think that was devil worshiping music in the 80s. I remember you. I see you. You're not fooling me. Ha ha. You're wearing the shirt now, motherfuckers. But back to my point. It's your right to indulge in it, whether it be gaming, whether it be music, whether it be dance, whether it be golf, you know, whether it be fucking croquet, whether it be curling, whether it be the luge, whether it be whatever, gymnastics. Indulge, you got to learn it all because you never know when you will be talking to someone in a job type situation or a networking type situation, and this shit will come in handy. So I would say allow yourself to be open. Allow yourself to partake. Allow yourself to pick from the smorgasbord, because everybody's got a little bit of cool shit, you know, whether it be superficial or not. And not only that, you know, the most important thing, the most important thing about this all, about learning about different cultures and respecting people, is that it enriches your own life, but also it really, when you see similarities, it really makes you see how truly connected. I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but we are all indeed truly connected, biologically and emotionally. And when you learn about other people, you really learn about their similarities. And you really learn that you don't have that much difference from one another at all. And I think that's a good place to end. I'm going to start going into a frenzy of video shooting. So you'll be seeing more content from me. But remember, if you like the channel, want to support the channel, please subscribe. Please like it. Please share. Please leave me a comment if you have any take on anything. I'm open to criticism. I don't mind being corrected, and I definitely don't mind being challenged, and I don't mind debating. And so with that, just remember, everybody, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. This is Cliff London. Good morning, everybody, and have a good day.